Let's face it, we all like to think that our dogs would come to our rescue in a heartbeat if we were ever in danger. After all, these loyal, lovable creatures are our companions, our best friends, and in many ways our emotional support system. But when push comes to shove, literally, would your dog actually defend you? Would they risk it all for you like some four-legged superhero? Or would they be more interested in hiding under the bed with a squeaky toy? Buckle up, because today, we're diving deep into the canine psyche to answer this important question. Now, let's start with the basics. Dogs by nature are incredibly loyal animals. From the moment they enter our homes, they start bonding with us, forming a deep attachment that can rival even the closest human relationships. But is that attachment enough to make them leap into action when danger strikes? The short answer is, it depends. You see, not all dogs are born to be brave warriors. Some dogs are more suited to being gentle lapdogs, while others have an innate instinct to protect. The breed of your dog plays a major role in this, so let's start by breaking it down. For example, consider breeds like the German Shepherd, Rottweiler, or Doberman Pinscher. These dogs have been bred for protection, which means they're more likely to have a natural instinct to defend their territory and their humans. If you've ever watched a German Shepherd protect their handler in police work, you know exactly what I'm talking about. These dogs are fearless, confident, and would probably throw themselves into a dangerous situation if it meant protecting their loved ones. So, if you own one of these breeds, you can rest assured that your dog would likely have your back if danger came knocking. Well, at least you better hope they would. But don't get too comfortable, because we're about to meet some dogs who might not be as willing to jump into battle. On the other end of the spectrum, let's talk about the more docile, less confrontational breeds. Picture your average golden retriever. These dogs are sweet, friendly, and known for being great family pets. They're social butterflies who love everyone they meet, even the mailman. But if an intruder were to break into your home, would your golden retriever spring into action with a bark and a protective stance? Probably not. Your golden would most likely wag its tail, offer a friendly lick, and ask if the intruder has any treats. It's not that your golden doesn't love you, it's just that they're not exactly built for combat. They'd probably just try to make friends with the bad guy. Then there's the Chihuahua. Ah yes, the dog that thinks it's a lion despite being only the size of a loaf of bread. Chihuahuas are known for their fearless, albeit slightly delusional, attitudes. If they see someone approaching their human, it's not uncommon for them to bark loudly, very loudly, at the potential threat, even though they're probably less intimidating than a puffed-up pillow. But don't let their size fool you. Chihuahuas are incredibly protective of their owners. They may not have the physical strength to take down an intruder, but they've got the heart of a lion. If anything, they'll give you a warning that their bravery exceeds their size. Maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, they'll even convince the intruder that you're a force to be reckoned with, because nothing says danger like an angry Chihuahua in attack mode. But what about the more subtle defenders, the dogs that don't necessarily go for the all-out attack, but still offer protection in their own way? Think of a dog like a border collie or a beagle. These dogs might not be the first to leap into action, but they are incredibly smart and highly attuned to their surroundings. If something were off, if they sense danger, even in the form of a subtle change in your body language, they might not necessarily get into a physical confrontation, but they could alert you to the threat in their own way. Border collies, for instance, have been trained to herd and protect livestock. Their instincts to monitor and guard can translate into a home defense scenario. If danger is near, they'll likely be your eyes and ears, and they'll make sure you're aware of the potential threat. It's like having a personal security system, except furrier and cuter. And then we have the dogs that are pure lovers, who might look at you in sheer confusion if you ask them to defend you. These dogs are known for their calm, relaxed demeanor. They're not interested in confrontation, and they're perfectly happy living in a world where everything is peaceful and everyone is a friend. Think of breeds like the Basset Hound or the Cocker Spaniel. They're wonderful, affectionate dogs. But when danger strikes, their response is more likely to be a confused tilt of the head and a hopeful wag of the tail. If you're looking for a dog to charge at a burglar, you might want to rethink your choice of breed. But don't be too quick to judge. Just because these dogs aren't the warrior types doesn't mean they don't have value in a crisis. They may not fight off an intruder, but they could offer emotional support, or, at the very least, distract the intruder long enough for you to make your escape. A wagging tail can be surprisingly disarming. Now, let's dig a little deeper into how your dog might sense danger. Dogs are incredibly perceptive animals, and their sense of smell, hearing, and intuition is far beyond our own. They can pick up on things that we simply can't, and this ability can help them sense when something is off. If an intruder approaches, your dog will likely notice the change in energy before you do. They'll pick up on the change in scent, the unfamiliar footsteps, or even the rise in tension in the air. It's often said that dogs can sense fear, and this isn't just a myth. If your dog sees that you're scared, they may mirror your emotions and become protective themselves. If you're calm and confident, however, your dog will likely remain the same. So, while some dogs may never actively defend you in the face of danger, they are certainly capable of sensing it and adjusting their behavior accordingly. Even beyond danger, there's something extraordinary about how dogs can read our emotions and act accordingly. It's almost as though they possess an intuitive sixth sense when it comes to our well-being. Take, for example, the dog that can sense when you're having a rough day. Even if you're not in physical danger, your dog might just curl up beside you, offering silent support without you having to ask. They don't need to be trained in defense tactics to protect you. They do it with their empathy. In some ways, emotional protection is just as valuable as physical defense. A dog's comforting presence can diffuse stress, lower anxiety, and help you feel secure when you're feeling vulnerable. Maybe that's their ultimate form of protection, providing peace of mind when the world feels overwhelming. On the flip side, dogs also have an uncanny ability to recognize when something is not right, even if the danger isn't immediately obvious. Let's say you're at home, minding your own business, when suddenly your dog starts barking at the door, alerting you to something unusual. Maybe it's a squirrel outside, maybe it's the wind, or maybe it's that feeling in the air that only your dog seems to notice. Dogs are incredibly tuned into their surroundings, and this heightened awareness of their environment can act as an early warning system. Whether it's an intruder, an unfamiliar smell, or even a sudden shift in your mood, your dog's instincts are constantly working to keep you safe. Whether it's with a wagging tail or a protective growl. It's like having a live-in security system, with a big heart and an even bigger bark. Let's not forget that a dog's protective instinct is often tied to their bond with you. Dogs who have a deep attachment to their owners are more likely to protect them when it matters most. This bond is built over time through trust, affection, and a shared sense of security. It's not just about physical protection, it's about emotional protection too. Your dog can sense when you're upset, stressed, or anxious, and in many cases, they'll react in a way that shows they care. A dog might not charge into a life or death battle, but they will do everything in their power to make sure you feel safe, loved, and cared for. And let's face it, that's one of the best forms of defense anyone could ask for. So, in conclusion, would your dog defend you in danger? Well, it depends on your dog's breed, temperament, and your relationship with them. Some dogs are natural protectors. Others are more like sidekicks who might warn you of trouble but won't necessarily rush into battle. Regardless, we can all agree on one thing. No matter how they would react in a dangerous situation, dogs are always there for us when we need them most. Whether it's through their protective instincts, their comforting presence, or their unwavering loyalty, they are always ready to be our companions, our protectors in their own unique ways. So next time you look at your dog, remember, they might not be a superhero, but in your eyes, they're your hero.